My first year on Fiverr, I earned... Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Alex. I'm an automotive freelance writer slash digital nomad that aims to help you with money saving ideas, new ways of earning a living and getting the most out of the money that you do spend with tips, tricks and hacks. If you're new to this channel, it would be great if you hit subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoy these sorts of videos. In this video I'm going to break down my monthly earnings for my first year on Fiverr, just to show you if it's a viable income stream and a good side hustle, and give my thoughts on the whole journey so far and how you can get started today. But first, what is Fiverr? Fiverr.com is a freelancing platform available in dozens of countries worldwide. It's where people like you and I offer services called gigs, where buyers can search for and purchase your gigs. These gigs can be anything from logo creation, blog and article writing, photography, video editing, resume or CV writing, website creation and much more. The idea used to be that people would spend only $5 for every gig that they buy, but it's moved on much more since the start. So much so that they even have a Fiverr Pro seller service, which I hopefully will be signing up to shortly. The idea is only a few top % of the people on the platform are allowed into Fiverr Pro. The idea is that bigger clients who spend more money and need higher quality service will buy these gigs from you, as they know they're getting top quality content. With Fiverr Pro, the minimum order amount is $100, which means you're going to earn a lot more than that if you offered multiple packages on your gigs. As you may be aware by now, if you're new to the channel, I'll give you an update on my life. So I recently quit my job and transitioned to freelancing full time. And my backstory behind this is when I watched Alex Vasulo on Graham Stephan's podcast, explaining how she was able to earn $378,000 a year on Fiverr by freelancing full time. I took so much inspiration from this that I signed up to Fiverr myself and followed every tip that she had to offer. So I was just working from home at the time, and it was a little side hustle that I could do in the spare time that I had in evenings and weekends. So I thought, why not try it out and see how it goes? So let's break down my monthly income on Fiverr during my first year on the platform. I will break down all of my earnings in dollars, as it's the currency that Fiverr use and it's kind of universal currency that everyone can understand. But I'll translate it into pounds later on. So the first month, I opened my account on the 5th of April 2021. My first order came through a month later, so it took a while for the first order to come through. But I wasn't fully focusing on the platform at the time. My first order was for $40, and that's where the whole journey began. I had no idea what I was doing, but I wrote about Japanese cars and a couple of other articles for a car enthusiast website. So straight away it's something that I'm hugely passionate about, which is definitely a good start to help with. But the $40 was a set of 3 articles, all bundled into one custom offer. It was super exciting as the buyer was eventually pleased after a couple of revisions with my delivery, and he gave me a 5-star review. So that's where it all kicked off. So in May was my first earning month at Fiverr. I had 4 Fiverr orders in the month of May and I earned $158. Just to let you know, all of this is gross income without Fiverr's 20% fee. I'll explain later my net income with the fees taken away and how much I lost because of this. In June, the second month I had Fiverr orders, I wrote my first product description and had my biggest order at the time. With a package for 12 car detailing products, I had $100 of order to fulfill. This was something I've never done before, so I researched online and I used Nike's product pages to get influence about how to approach my product pages. The description highlighted what the customer would get if they bought those shoes, with a bold, fully capped headline and a short summary of each product feature underneath the headlines. So I copied that kind of style for this automotive product. The customer was again happy with the description that they received and gave me a 5-star rating. At the end of the month I had an even bigger order that came through. It took such a long time, but it involved extracting information from a user manual and inputting it into an Excel spreadsheet. It took me so long to do, which is obviously a lesson learned at the time, about 4 or 5 hours, and I only got paid $115. I don't think it really was worth my time, but at the time I had little experience in doing anything like this. It gave me the warning signs for future orders and declining these kinds of requests in the future. So with that I had a total of 5 orders in June and earned a total of $260, so which was a nice bump up for my first month and heading on the right track. Now July was a bit of a break for me. I went on a road trip to Scotland with some friends. Here are some videos and pictures from the trip. But ultimately, I didn't want orders to come through at this time, as I was out on the road, wasn't guaranteed of any Wi-Fi, and wanted to enjoy the holiday. So the trick here with Fiverr is to not set yourself as unavailable, but instead to delay your delivery time, allowing enough time to fulfill the orders when you get back. But this also throws you out the algorithm a little bit and puts you low down on the search results. So buyers didn't collectively look at my listings and offered to buy any of my gigs, really. So I didn't really get many orders through. But it was an improvement overall in terms of the number of orders I had to fulfill, because I had 9 orders come through and I earned $175 in July. Also, July was the month I introduced a new gig that people were messaging me about, asking if I did this service. After I set up this gig, I slowly started to receive more and more orders, just as when I got back from my Scotland trip, so that was super exciting, as I didn't even know signing up to the platform that customers were looking for this sort of content that they wanted. And that's where the majority of my income came from this month. August 2021, and the peak summer month here in the UK, was the most successful I had to date at the time. I tripled my July income, and with 15 orders I earned $543. I think it was also the month that I chose to raise my prices by $5 on everything too, which obviously helped a little bit with the income. Moving on to September, I started receiving repeat orders from past clients. I had a massive month totaling 23 orders, which brought in $585.75. I was actually approached in September by Fiverr and their customer service team to look at applying for Fiverr Pro, and this was just 4 months after my first order. Now, there was no guarantee I would be accepted, but it was good recognition of my work that they were happy with it, and it was a high standard. It's not a boast either, because I started with very little experience, only a passion and a degree in the subject that I was writing about, which does of course help. So it's definitely something you can do when you're thinking about signing up. October was a huge month for me as the growth trend continued, with my earnings reaching the $1,000 figure for the first time. It really started to make me wonder if I could actually transition this into a full-time job and quit my current corporate job. I had a total of 27 orders and I earned $1,135, over double the previous month. Now we're at the 6 month mark. At this point. So I will total up my earnings so far. From May to October, I earned $2,856.75, which averages at $476 a month. And I don't think that's too bad as a side hustle, really, because I was still working full time, still taking holidays, and only working on Fiverr orders on evenings and weekends. Now, the next month, November was a great month again for Fiverr orders, having continued to grow. It was my busiest month to date, with my gig that I introduced earlier in the year really taking off now. I was working on my orders pretty much every single day, looking at my list of delivery dates. I had 28 orders in November, and I earned $1,409, which again, working on the side is insane, just taking up my evenings and weekends. December was a great month. I know I sound like a broken record here, but despite being in the middle of winter and everyone settling down for the Christmas period, it produced even more sales for me. So passing the November earnings, I raised my prices during this month too. I had a lot of repeat clients, and I guess people wanted to push content out before the Christmas break. I had a total of 21 orders in December, less than November's order count, but it was worth a lot more, and I earned $1,709, which was weirdly exactly $300 more than the November earnings. So January in the new year, this was the start of the downward trend for my Fiverr journey. Maybe as people were resting up over Christmas, they weren't too bothered about posting content, because maybe the audience had already been away for a few weeks and not back into the office or back online yet, spending time with their families or something like that. Despite this, it was still over $1,000 in January. I had 19 orders and I earned $1,334.50. This was due to a lot of repeat clients as I tracked them on the spreadsheet, and I noticed their name and username popping up ever so often. So once you do get the ball rolling and have a few happy clients, they do come back and order more from you, because that's what the best approach is for ranking on Google, having original content that's consistent, which is kind of why I'm releasing these YouTube videos every week now. Now, February this year, my birthday month, I just checked my delivery list and I actually did 2 orders on my birthday this month. Yikes. I don't know if that's sad or it just shows how much commitment I have. But anyway, it was a less successful month for me on Fiverr overall, really. I had just 16 orders in February and my total earnings was $865. March was also a pretty low month for me on Fiverr, but I still received more orders than February. They didn't have as high of a value, but March brought me in $857, which is okay. I guess the reason why is because I went to Malta in March, and it was the first trip abroad I had in over 2 years, so I wanted to make the most of that, and I was glad I did because it was great fun. I do recommend Malta. Fiverr wasn't my main focus this month, which is perhaps why my earnings were a bit less. Now let's talk about my most successful month, which was April. It really proved how much I could earn on the platform and what I wanted to do going forward. It was the month I handed in my 4-week notice and quit my corporate job, and let me tell you why. Just from Fiverr orders alone, I had my most ever orders in a single month. 42. I had 42 orders. More than one a day, obviously. And in April this year, 2022, I earned $2,726 on the platform. My most successful month, even now. The last month from my full year on Fiverr is May 2022, and the earnings dropped slightly. I didn't know whether to include it because it was over the 12-month mark. But anyway, I'll tell you that I had 28 orders on Fiverr in May, and I earned a total of $2,100.50. But this takes us over the year, so let me work it out from the exact 12-month period, which was the 5th of May from my first order. So drum roll please. First year on Fiverr, I earned $11,822.25, which averages out as $985.19 per month. So obviously very nearly $1,000 per month. And this was just on the side up until very recently, taking up only my evenings and weekends. Now, just to make sure, this is my gross income, which is without the 20% that Fiverr take, including all my tips. So removing the 20% that Fiverr take, I earned in my first year on Fiverr $9,457.80, or $788.15 per month on average, which translates to £7,668.10, or £639.01 per month. Now, none of these figures mention my private clients who have reached out via LinkedIn or other services, which is why I think it's important to branch out and not just use Fiverr as a platform to get freelancing clients. Otherwise, my earnings wouldn't be enough to quit my job on Fiverr alone. Now, just over a year since starting, I have over 300 orders and unique pieces of content, over 160 5-star reviews on the platform, and a host of repeating clients, even after raising my prices several times. So with Fiverr, I generally definitely recommend that you sign up to it if it's something that you want to pursue full time, or even as a side income, because you can write something that you're passionate about, or if you've got a skill in photography, in editing, in HR or CV writing. You might not have any experience, but that's why you start your prices low and start with $5. There are so many articles online about how you can start, how you can write engaging content for people with no experience. There's also YouTube videos about how you can set up your Fiverr gig as a seller and how you can start marketing yourself. Also, I'm sure there's a host of articles on the subject that you're passionate about, unless it's a really small niche, but in that case you can open up your services in that very small niche. And all of this you can use as reference to begin your freelancing journey. As I experienced, getting the first few orders can be a bit scary, and you have to learn a lot of aspects of kind of owning your own business, understanding how long each article will take, negotiating prices, communicating with the customers, offering customer service, and immediately and effectively communicating with any clients that you might get. And they're ultimately happy if they start low and you offer revisions to change up what they were looking for, so you can deliver the highest quality content. Now with Fiverr, there are some downsides, of course. They take 20% of everything. I mean tips and earnings. There's no negotiation on that, it's just what the platform is. And Upwork, another freelancing platform, is the same, except after a certain amount, I think it's $10,000, the fee reduces to 10%, and reduces even more if you're earning more money on the platform. However, on Fiverr, I've noticed people actually approach you instead. So that 20% I feel is kind of like a marketing budget, where Fiverr will put you in the algorithm and offer you to clients that may be searching for your services. So that's my first year on Fiverr. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tap the like button, leave a comment down below on if you have started or are thinking about starting your Fiverr journey, and hit subscribe for more money saving tips, side hustle tricks and ideas in the future. Peace. To make the most of that and didn't really focus on getting Fiverr orders. Thanks.